Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, the injured reserve list giveth in Max Fried, and the injured reserve list taketh, and that's Cody Bellinger on the 10-day IL, tweaking the hamstring during the Phillies series. So he will be down for a while, and Spencer Jones getting the nod there. So we'll take a look at the situation as well, but really the good news should be taking 2 out of 3 in Philadelphia, even though, again, the Sunday night game was kind of a disappointment. The Yankees kind of getting blasted out there, but should look at the bigger picture, kind of the exciting Friday night game, which was a 1-0 thriller, almost like a postseason game, with Cam Schlitters, giving maybe his best pitching performance of the season, coming out of a big way after kind of scuffling a little bit in his previous few starts there. So be more of a celebratory, but of course, yes, it does sting, with Bellinger going down. Of course, the Yankee offense struggling as it is. So again, Spencer Jones will get his third chance this season there, so we'll look at that. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe to this podcast, Section 420 Talkin Yankees, the podcast, wherever you get your favorite podcast, and there's also the YouTube version of the show. Go to YouTube, search for Section 420 Talkin Yankees, and subscribe there as well. So this could have been, somewhat of a death trap for the Yankees. The Phillies, they started the second half of the season actually losing 2 out of 3 of the Mets there, and you figure, is it the case that the Phillies are stumbling a little bit, or is it the case that the Yankees are about to go on some sort of surge or run there? You never know that, but of course it's a dangerous situation going down in Philadelphia Citizens Bank ballpark. Obviously, it's built for that Phillies offense. Now, it could be built for the Yankee offense as well if they were fully healthy, which they're not. But again, that stadium is built for Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber there. So, dangerous situation. Again, the Yankees take 2 out of 3. And really, the first 2 games is doing it with pitching. Again, we know the offensive woes. We kind of discussed that even during the Pittsburgh series. But again, you more look at the Yankee pitching. Cam Schlitters, 7+ strong innings, able to maintain the 1-0 lead. And of course, Bednar able to close it down. And of course, then goes the second game, Ryan Weathers, who's been up and down a little bit. You look at his 4-7 record. He's, he's gotten a couple of games where he's had some hard luck losses. A lot of games where he's pitched well for 7 or 8 innings, but getting 0 run support. But again, he was kind of due for a good game. He was one of those guys also dealing with that stomach bug that was going around about a month or so ago with the team. He was kind of one of the guys that was suffering through that. Hopefully, he's got his, fluids and everything back, and you saw a really good performance out of him as well. And of course, Jason Dominguez, where, you hear rumblings that both him and Jones could be on the trading block, kind of stepped up in a big way there. Right-handed, which remember that was his kind of bugaboo thing this season. They wanted to work on him being a more effective right-hand hitter, which is his natural position, launching a home run right-handed, and again, they would go on to hold on to a thrilling 2-1 lead. And again, just the Yankee, dominant pitching back-to-back from Schlitter and Ryan Weathers. Unfortunately, was not the case on the Sunday game. Will Warren, who's kind of been fluttering a little bit lately, and, once everyone's back in terms of Rendon, who's going to be the odd man out, probably would be Will Warren. I just think Weathers is better off as a starter. I think that, even though the Yankees have 2 other lefty starters in Rendon and Fried there, I like a lefty starter, and again, someone like Weathers, I got to throw a high velocity. I just think that's better off to have someone like Will Warren did what he did during the Pittsburgh game. Come out, if there's maybe pitch an inning if he has to, or maybe get a game where this, Fried just doesn't have it, and you have to pull Fried out of the 3rd inning, then Will Warren, because he's stretched out as a starter, maybe he could go 5 innings there and save your bullpen. So I just think it's a better weapon to have Warren in the bullpen. That's probably where he's going to end up there. And he has been scuffling a little bit. Again, I'm not going to go too crazy with him. And you got to remember the fact that, the Phillies were going to bust out eventually. I mean, when they score 0 and 1 runs the first 2 games, I mean, the offense is going to blow out at some point. Will Warren's just, again, the wrong place, the wrong time there. And if you look at his line there, 3 innings, 6 hits, 6 earned runs. And then, in fact, on the Saturday game, Bellinger tweaked that hamstring, running the bags during a base hit there. And he even told Boone afterwards the game there that he possibly might have had issues scoring, if he had to there. So, again, the decision was made after the game to place him on the IL. And he mentioned that the next day that he really didn't feel any additional pain, but he's just not going to put on any cleats for the next couple of days there. And again, this is the 10-day IL, so we'll see how long it lasts. We know with these things, like sometimes, originally they put Stanton on the 10-day IL, and we haven't seen the guy since April, so it doesn't seem like that'll be the case. Bellinger hasn't really been hitting well as of late, so you can say, well, in a way, you're not gonna miss him in that regard because he hasn't been hitting it. It's been like a month since he's hit a home run, but what you are gonna miss is his defense in left field, and even when he's not providing anything with the bat, he is a weapon there as this is a left fielder. We saw him made a great diving play in the Friday night game. Again, that was when Bednar came out in the 9th there, had a leaping dive, and even during the Pittsburgh game, that was the 2-0 game, the Max Fried game, having a big put out, throwing a runner, trying to extend a single into a double there. So again, you're going to lose Bellinger. You're going to probably feel it more just defensively, what he's able to do out there. But of course, now Spencer Jones getting the nod, 3rd opportunity this season. And again, it probably gives the Yankees and Cashman a showcase that if he does something positive, this is maybe someone you could use as a possible trade bait. We'll see. Again, he's been a slight of a disappointment since he's come up here. Again, we've seen him hit a couple of home runs, but striking out loud. But of course, once you send him down to AAA, then he seems like an all-world player. But then once he comes up here to face major league pitching, he just kind of seems like a kind of of a lumbering Joey Gallo type where, either strikeout or a home run. So let's see, maybe this third time around that maybe locks in a little bit better and can focus a little bit more. And again, maybe make a case where you could, keep up here, stay up here. Because again, it looks like that both Stanton and Judge are still ways away. Boone mentioned that, Stanton doing incrementally a little bit better on his calf issue there. But again, you probably know Tatum we could come back. So, if someone like Jones could get hot here and stay around a while, it would definitely help this team. Because right now, they're barely putting out a major league lineup. At the Saturday game, you have like Jason Dominguez like batting cleanup. It's like, as much as we've been criticizing Dominguez, the fact that you have to use this guy in the heart of the lineup to clean up there just shows you how bad, really how empty and thin this is. Barely a major league lineup at this point. And, incremental things from Austin Wells. He had a home run also in that Saturday game. But still, you just have a lot of guys like Volpe and Jazz, who's hot and cold, and Wells overall struggling. Just too many guys that's kind of automatic outs here. And this, again, desperately need Judge back there because, again, it's really, pulling teeth to get runs for this team. Again, the only saving grace where I don't think it's a total scare time is that the Yankee pitching overall is strong. And again, you're gonna have a situation soon where there's putting out an A+ pitcher there every time with both Max Fried and Cole there at the top, and now Schlittler coming off a gem of a game in a very tough place to play in Philadelphia. Remember again, Schlittler got the boo treatment when the Yankees were down there in Philadelphia during the All-Star break, but not intimidated as all. And we've seen him pitch in intimidated places such as Fenway Park. We've seen him pitch well at Citi Field, and now we see him pitch down against the Phillies in Philadelphia there. So Ken has that little moxie and chip on his shoulder you like to see with a bulldog type of pitcher like that throws 100 miles per hour there. So I would just take more positives from the whole series against the Phillies. You like to beat a quote-unquote good team. There was a knock against the Yankees like, well, they could beat the schlubs, but they struggle against the good teams. Well, they went into a good quote-unquote good team's backyard there. And, even though the Phillies got off to a rough, start this season, which caused them to fire Rob Thompson and promote Don Mattingly, still you say it's a good quality team and good something, you could feel good about. And now the Yankees will kind of be in Chicago for quite a while. If you're playing this ahead and if you're a Yankee fan, it would be kind of a cool trip. So you got 4 games against the White Sox and then 3 games at the Cubs in Wrigley. So you got a whole week of Chicago baseball. So, if you got the money and the time off, you could afford that and all the tickets and everything. That would be a pretty cool road trip, spending a whole week in Chicago watching the Yankees play the White Sox and the Cubs. So for the Yankees, Bellinger down for a while. Offensively, he wasn't doing much. So run-wise, I don't think they're going to miss him too much there. But it's really going to hurt Yankees. It's going to be with missing Bellinger's defense. But overall, maybe just have a little optimism as well. Maybe Spencer Jones now getting a third time around there. Again, maybe just kind of picking up something. Maybe you could put together more quality at bats there, not just be a kind of a all or nothing type of Joey Gallo hitter. Catch you next time.